Okay, so Be'ezras Hashem, we're going to be continuing with the Hakdama to the Sefer Zohar Kadosh, Motzei Shabbos, Parshas Lech Lecha. Pasach Rabbi Eliezer, so this is still Rabbi Eliezer and Raba on the way to Ravaba's father-in-law after having lost that mysterious donkey driver who was none other than Rafim Nuna Saba. Pasach Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer opens up and says, Pasuk says in Tehillim, Ma Rav Tuvcha Shetzafante L'Reacha. How intense, how wondrous is the goodness that is hidden away to those who fear you. Kama hutava ilav yakira dezimun kuchvrichu leme'ave gabe b'nei nasha li'inon zachen iloyin dechali chata de meshtadle ba'oreisa kad iloyin lahahu alma. How wondrous, how pleasant is going to be the goodness, the ascendant goodness that is reserved by HaKadosh Baruch Hu for those individuals who have served him in this world with fear of transgression and effort in the engagement of Torah when they ascend up to that next world. Tuvcha of the pasuk, ma rav tuvcha loiksiv. It doesn't just say goodness, ela rav tuvcha. The rav here comes to intensify the goodness. Uman ihu, and what is this rav tuvya? What is the qualifier of rav due to this goodness? It's rooted in the Gzeira Shava of Zecher Rav Tuvcha Yaviu, the Rav Tuvcha that emerges from that site of Yesoid, Rav Tuvcha Yaviu. V'da'ihu inuga de chayin de nagdin men alma de asi de gabe chay alman. De'ihu Zecher Rav Tuvcha Vadai. And what this is the pleasure of life, the pleasantness of life that descends and emerges from that world that is perpetually emergent from the future as it descends from the life of all worlds, Chai Alman or of Yisoid, it's a memory of that original light. Vadai Ihu, Rav Toiv Lebeis Yisrael. It's the goodness, the intense goodness that comes to Yisrael. Su ma Rav Tuvcha. What does it mean, Rav Tuvcha specifically? Hacha iglif raza de chachmas v'chol razin es kalilu hacha. Here, there's engraved the secret of wisdom, and all of the secrets are contained within here. Kama de itmar, as it's written, Rav da ilona Rav v'tokif. What does Rav mean by Rav Tuvcha? This is the strong, sturdy tree that has the intensity and the ability to stand, the Or of Yisoid, the Adam Eitza Sadeh, the Eitza Chaim Kadisha. Begin to is ilana achra zuta minayhu. And why do we say it's a big tree? Why not just stam the tree? Because there's another smaller tree, the Eitzadas Tevera, which we have the choice to eat from at every moment in our lives. We're perpetually making that choice between the Eitz Chaim or the Eitzadas Tevera in each and every moment of our lives. And therefore, this tree of the Eitz Chaim that is hidden in the very depths of the Eitzadas Tevera is the secret of the big tree that ascends through all of the Rikian. It goes all the way up. The Or of Yesod goes all the way up to the Or Ein Sof Kavyachal in order to be mamshech more of that ha'ara. The secret of Das Shel Shalom, the secret of the Hamshacha, may Olam Hamalbush Mamish, down to the lowest possible expression. The secret of Yosef HaTzadik who descends into Mitzrayim. Tuvcha, what is this goodness? So we clarified what this Rav is, what the intensification of goodness is, but what's this goodness? Da or the Isbari Biyuma Kadma'a. This is the light of the first day of creation. This is the Or HaGonos that's Megalazain on the Yichud Ilah in every single moment of Eino and Milvado. Kipshuta Mamish, that Simsum is Eino Kipshuto, even the Shita of Simsum Kipshuto is Eino Kipshuto. That secret of the Or HaGanus that the Leshem Shabbat V'chalem Etzchus Yagan Aleinu and the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh and the Gra and Rabbi Nachman and all of the tzaddikim in our generation speak about, that concealed light, that Te'ima of the Or Ein Sof Mamish that's nugget from that world of Alma Da'asi into the mind of the individual, deepen, drop after drop after drop of the congealment of the Hasaga Velokus, which transforms everything into the better. That is emergent at every moment. That is that or, the Isbari B'yom Makadma, the or of Chanukah. Asher Safanta L'Rayecha, why was it concealed for those who fear you? Begin the Gones Leil Tzadikaya Bahahu Alma. Because it's hidden for the tzaddikim in that world, that nondescript, that worldedness that rests right beyond the horizon of mind, right beyond the horizon of graspability, that world which is not an olam haba that's only going to exist in the future, but rather an alma da'asi, a world that is perpetually emergent into one individual's mind in this moment itself. Asher safanta l'orecha begin the gonis leila tzadikayu bahu alma. Pa'alta, the pasuk goes on, Pa'alta da gan eden ilah. This is the secret of gan eden ilah. the experience that a person can have in this world, avada in the next world, where a person, we don't have a hasag of what these things mean, but in this world, a person can have a hasag of Gan Eden Ilah, the ascendant form of Gan Eden, that place of connectivity in the deepest way, devoid of any feeling. Machin l'shivtecha pa'alta Hashem, as the pasuk says, Machin l'shivtecha pa'alta Hashem, dohu pa'alta l'choisenbach. This pa'alta, the Gezer Shava of pa'alta l'choisenbach, is the Machon L'Shivtecha Pa'alta Hashem, which is the secret of Gan Eden Elyon, that place that HaKadosh Baruch Hu rests his presence, Kaviyachol. Neged B'nai Adam, what does it mean in relationship or in response to B'nai Adam? Da Gan Eden Dilatata. This is the lower expression of Gan Eden that a person has access to as well in moments of hasaga, of calmness in this world, of a te'ima of Shabbos on Erev Shabbos, of Elemecha Ter B'chayecha. Eden dilatata the whole tzadikayu teman kaimen berucha de islabish b'levushiyakar kegavnu diyukna da alma, where all of the tzadikim there stand and they exist with a beautiful spirit that is engarbed in a profoundly beautiful garb that is like the colors and the image of what it means to be in this world. Vida ihu neged b'nei adam, and this is the deeper secret of neged b'nei adam, that or of hasaga that comes about by way of being an adam itself. Bahahu diyukna de b'nei adam da alma, in the garb of what it means to be a human being. That secret of Gan Eden Dilatata, which is the Tzike Kedera of Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus Lamvod, that Moshe didn't want to say because it's not Kedai to talk about the ore that comes from that place, but at the same point he couldn't not say because that ore is the Iker ore, that ore that's Niskala from the Dira B'Tachtoinim, from that lower level, from the Dira Ilah, from the Gan Eden Dilatata, that secret of being Mislabesh in the Guf itself. And so the Eitzah there is that the mushal there is like a princess who smells a pungency, a pungent odor of tzike kedera, and she doesn't know if she should eat it or not. That pungency that is emergent specifically from Gan Eden Dilatata, because it's rooted and expressed in the human notion of who we are and how we are, and utilizing that experience to gain access to the Rabbanu Shalom, in spite of the fact that it's the lowest darga, it's also the roots of the highest darga of Dir B'Tachtainim Mamish, Gan Eden Dilatata Mamish, that person has access to in every moment, especially on a Motzei Shabbos, especially on a Shabbos, especially in any moment of a person's life. B'da'ihu neged b'nei Adam, and this is why the pasuk ends with do b'neged b'nei Adam. Ha'hu diyukna b'nei Adam lahe alma v'kaimen teiman uparchi ba'avira, and they exist there and they float within the air of a salku l'goy mesifta d'rakia, and they enter into that celestial learning space of contemplation. Ba'hu gan eden d'la'ela, that is ascendant above it from the gan eden d'la'ela uparchi v'ismachin batle nahari afarsimo dachya, and they move and they descend back in to kind of spend that, to be toivel and to float in those rivers of Afarsim and Dachia, of Nachte Vishayan Latata, and they descend and they rest down below again. Ulizimnian et Chazin Neged B'nei Adam Leme'eved Loi Nisan Kimlachin Iloin Kigavna de Chazina Hashta. And there's certain times where this Neged Ben Adam also means that they give chayas to a person from Shemayim, like Malachim, to give chayas, to have a miracle mamish, as we just saw, says Rabbi Eliezer. As we just saw, he's still walking on the path with Raba. We just saw this Kagavna de Chazina Hashta, like we just saw Nihiru de Butzina Ilah, the illumination of Rav Hamnuna Saba v'lo zachin le'istalko, but we couldn't grab hold of it. Leminderaz in the Chachmas Yasir, to hear any more secrets of wisdom. Pasach Rabbi Abba v'Amar. Rabbi Abba opens up and he says, after the fathers of Shimshon Agibor, after they encountered the Isha Likim, the Malach who tells them about their son, they said, we're going to surely die because we've seen and we've beheld God. In their perception, that Giloi Be'erchen was what they understood as what Or is. And Mamela, they said, we just saw too much. We just saw too much, and they were afraid they were going to die. Even though Manoach didn't really know what he was saying. Amar Hoyel v'chsiv, the pasuk says, Ki lo yareni ha'adam v'chai, that nobody can see me, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, nobody could grasp my atzmus kaviyachol, nobody could grasp me entirely of panim al panim and remain alive, because it's against the possibility of being human. Being human is the very opposite, the impossibility of grasp. The lo yareni ha'adam v'chai, with the secret of lo, a person will come to see me and live. Vada anan chazinan. Avada, says Manayach, we just saw something. We're certainly going to die. And now Rav Abba makes a shustel to themselves. Anan chaminan v'zachinan l'nehura da dahave azil bahadan. And we have just received the vision. We just were meritorious of beholding such a light that was moving along with us. V'nitkayim ba'alma, but we find ourselves continuing to live in this world. But rather, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has chosen us to enable ourselves to receive those hidden secrets of wisdom that are descending down. Ashrenu, how meritorious is our lot. Azlu, they moved forward. Matu Lachadtura, they came to a certain mountain. Vavenati Shimsha, and the sun was setting. Sharu Anfind Iloid Tura La and the leaves and the twigs of the branches began to knock one into the other and create songs. Va'amre shirasa, and they began to sing at dusk. Adhave azle shemuchad kala tekifa b'have amar. As they continued walking on this mountain with the songs of the bristling trees at dusk time in the northern mountains of Eretz Yisrael, and the secret of Marav Tuvcha Shetzafan Tilarecha, the secret of the north, the secret of Rashbi, the secret of the Or Hatzafun. Adahave Azle Shamuchad Kalat Kifa, they heard a strong voice come out. Amar Bnei Eloyin Kadishan Inan de is Badru Beina Chaya de Alma Inan Butsina Bnei Mesifta is Kanshu de Duchtayu Ishta Ashaya B'Mareichan Ba'araisa. They heard a voice come out that said, these godly, holy creatures that are amongst those who are living in this world, these holy flames, the members of the celestial chamber of Rabbi Shimon, is Kanshulu Duchtayu, return to your places, Lishtashea, B'Ma'arechan Ba'araisa, return to your places. And this was a voice that was emanating throughout the fabric of their experience, throughout the noise of that darkened mountain. D'chilu ilin v'ka'imin b'duchtayu v'yasvu. They were afraid. Rav Elazar and Rav Abba were afraid. They stood up in their place and they sat back down. Again, a voice came out as it did before. V'amin Tamrin tekifin pshitin ramin haimari degvanin merikma betsiurin kayim al itztavna ula v'iskanshu bahu shaisa shamukal anfe de iloyin rav v'takiv v'ave amrei kol Hashem shoyver razim. I don't have a definition of this beautiful line that the Zohar Kadosh is saying. I don't think I understand it. The chilu ilin v'kaminu b'duchtayu, they stood up and they sat back down. Adahachi nafak kala kedilakadmin v'amar. As it was before, a voice came out and it said, Salayim chazakim, tanrin tekifin, salayim chazakim, strong stones, pshitin, ramim, meaning there. This I'm looking at the derech emes from Rachu, that strong stones, Ramayan high mari degvanin merikma betziurin koyim alitztavna ula v'iskanshu. It's an expression of a very lofty place that a person should come and ascend into. It was a call for all of the tzaddikim to come into that place in the celestial chambers to begin to learn Torah as the nighttime emerged. This was the voice they were hearing. Then they heard another voice, now this was not another strong voice, but rather this was the noise that was coming from the trees, the music, Rav V'Takeh, from that strong tree, V'Have Amri, and it was singing, Koil Hashem Shoiver Arazim. Naflu al Ampe Rabbi Elazar V'Rab Abba V'Dechilu. Sage nafal alayhu, ka'amru bebehilu va'azlu v'loy shamamidu. Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Abba fell down in fear, and they got up with behala, overwhelmed va'azlu, and they ran out v'loy shamamidi. They didn't hear anything else. Nafku min Torah va'azlu. They left that mountain and they went. Anmatu le'Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Shimon ben Lukana chamid Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai Teiman. When they came finally to the house of Raba's father-in-law, Rav Yosef and Rabbi Shimon ben Lukana, they saw that the Butzina Kadisha, Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, was over there. Chadu Chade Rabbi Shimon, and Rabbi Shimon was smiling, Rabbi Shimon was laughing, Amar Loin, and Rabbi Shimon said to them, Vadai Archa Denasin Va'asini Loin Ka'avrutum. It's very, very clear that you have come from a tremendously ascendant path. The anna de michna hashta the chamina lechul banyayu ben yayada the kemeshader lechu train itrin ayada the chad sabla itra lechu. I now see that you were visited by that secret of ben yayada who gave you the secret of that old ancient one from Nuna Saba. Vade ba'archada kudshabirichu vave. It's obvious, however, whatever you just went through, all of the ups and the downs of it, it's obvious that a Kadosh Baruch Hu was there. Su the chamina an peichu mishnainin. The chamina an peichu mishayim. And furthermore, I see that your face has changed. Rabbi Yaisi, the father-in-law of Raba, says, Yoyasim Rosam, the Chacham Adif Minavi. It's good that you're saying it, Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon, specifically you, because a Chacham, upon you, the statement is said that a Chacham is Adif Minavi. A Chacham of Rabbi Shimon, the ability to draw this entire tale together. Be'ezras Hashem, we will continue this week with the Heilige Zohar HaKadosh.